Zach, just what got you through that second half there after you lost Braden for a while and they got the game tied up there at 56 late?
Yeah, we just have a lot of guys that can really step up. Kind of been saying it all year. Like, we got a lot of guys who play a lot of different roles, fill a lot of different shoes. You saw Lance kind of step up and play that point guard position. We have a lot of guys that can really play, and I think even though we lost Braden, he's a big part of our offense in that stretch. We still have a lot of guys that can play.
How exhausting are these Michigan State games when there's just fouls every minute? That first half was something.
Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of how they play. Like they play 3 or 4 bigs every year, and they just use all their fouls. Kind of like that going into the game. It's not like a surprising thing when it happens. That's just kind of like when you have center by committee. A lot of times you just use those fouls.
On the 3 by Fletcher, did they help down on you any different than they had been the rest of the game?
I think they kind of sold out to. That was one where I bounced it and then give it to him. Or
you got it in the post, you kicked it out to Lance, moved it over to Braden. Braden hit Fletcher in the corner.
Yeah, I just kind of had thought before that they were selling out a little too hard on their doubles. Like they were damn near triple teaming me. So I just read that and understood that it was my time to make a play for my teammates.
How much value is there in your depth, especially in a tournament where you're trying to win 3 games in 3 days?
It's big. Like when you have a lot of guys that can play, you'll have a lot of guys with fresh legs. We have Trey and Mason playing both around kind of 20 minutes. I think they'll be good. Like we have a lot of guys kind of they're not when you're not relied on every game to play 35, 40 minutes. When you have guys like that, they'll be fresh at the end of the tournament.
This team seems to make every big 3. Just how refreshing is that? How big of a luxury is that for you when you're kind of used to getting the ball left and right down the end of games?
It's amazing. I mean, when we can hit a 3, I'm gonna take that every single time. Especially at the end of the game, kind of having guys that aren't afraid of that moment, guys who can step up. Like I said, everybody wants to take the shot at the end of the game, so everybody's gonna be ready to take the shot, and that's why it goes in a lot.
What's it say about your team? Those few minutes with Smith in the back, it could have been really easy to get distracted, more worried about that and going forward. You guys were able to respond and hold it until they got back.
Yeah. Obviously, kind of him going out was scary. But just at the end of the day, like when you step back on that court, the only thing you're worried about is playing basketball. Kind of everything fades away a little bit.
Zach, about Lance's effort today, I mean, drawing 5 offensive fouls, that's obviously something you don't see every day, and that's something that, I mean, a lot of guys have that attitude on this team to sacrifice their body, but what was his contribution able to give you guys a lift today?
Yeah, like you say, those are turnovers, he basically caused 5 turnovers. That's a really good player in Tyson Walker, and he gave him a lot of problems. It kind of speaks to the player he is on the defensive end.